We're sorry, this commentary is not available in your country. Please visit talksport.com/commentaries to hear an alternative stream or listen to TalkSport 2 for even more live sport.
TalkSport has so much sport, we're running out of radio to play it. Ops.
There ain't no stopping them now!
Get set for more live sport, more incisive pundit comment and opinion, and more Andrew McKenna.
Thank you very much. That'll do.
Sport radio that hits you for six. TalkSport 2.
Well, that's what Ballin is. Ballin is dragged it back onto the stumps.
Hard tackling live. Super League action.
Strong and hard and made of steel.
Live
Ops.
There ain't no stopping them now!
Get set for more live sport, more incisive pundit comment and opinion, and more Andrew McKenna.
Thank you very much. That'll do.
Sport radio that hits you for six. TalkSport 2.
Well, that's what Ballin is. Ballin is dragged it back onto the stumps.
Hard tackling live. Super League action.
Strong and hard and made. He's got it. A unanimous decision.
If you can kick it, hit it,
Bowl it. Pass it.
putt it, hot it.
Get set for more live sport, more incisive pundit comment and opinion, and more Andrew McKenna.
Thank you very much. That'll do.
Sport radio that hits you for six. TalkSport 2.
Well, that's what Ballin is. Ballin is dragged it back onto the stumps.
Hard tackling live. Super League action.
Strong and hard and made. He's got it. A unanimous decision.
If you can kick it, hit it,
Bowl it. Pass it.
putt it, hot it.
Quite an open game if the first 3 minutes or so are anything to go by. My name's Daniel Bowers, thank you very much for joining us here for this live commentary of Manchester City against Newcastle United as this Premier League weekend gets underway. Corner for Newcastle United on the far side, it's an outswinger. Header for Lascelles, trying to direct his header towards goal. City
A unanimous decision.
here.
You can kick it, hit it,
In the corner, makes a block and concedes a goal kick, but Jamal Lascelles coming in for his first Premier League start of the season was given the opportunity to head towards goal. It was headed away by Rodri, but decent corner for Newcastle United, putting Manchester City under some early pressure. Just over 4 minutes gone. Ederson chips out a goal kick to Walker. He's blocked off by Joe Linton. Trying to play the ball up towards Anthony Gordon, starting on the left hand side today. Joe Linton picking up left hand side again, and there will be another goal kick head towards goal. It's headed away by Rodri, throw in the corner, which Kyle Walker would take. Decent corner for Newcastle. Back in the starting 11 today. Manchester City under some early pressure. Just over 4 minutes on. Limited backs in the impressive form. Walker, he's blocked off by 18-year-old Rico Lewis, but Joe Linton, Guardiola giving the 52-year-old the call-up today. Gordon starting on the left-hand side today. Allen now for De Bruyne, trying to shift it over towards Green again. Pass is blocked off by Kieran Trippier. It's been a fantastic starting for Newcastle United since arriving last January. Early pressure. Kanji now for Manchester City. Inside his own half. Seems to have a frantic pace in the early stages of his Foden. Beats the battle past Dan Burn with the strength of Burn. Allows him to clear the ball up to Gordon. Halfway line with Joe Linton. Back to Gordon. Facing his own goal. Allen now for De Bruyne. Tries to shift it over towards Green again. Pass blocked off by Kieran Trippier. Givereich. Fantastic starting for Newcastle. Haaland and De Bruyne goes back to Pope inside his own box. Kanji now takes the touch and takes in this one again towards Callum Wilson. Pace in the early stages has the overlapping run coming from Allen and Gordon with a touch ball. Allows him to clear the ball up to Gordon. Halfway line with Joe Diaz headed it down in the Aki facing his own left hand side. Allen back to free for De Bruyne in his day. Aki, Diaz. Pass blocked by Kieran Trippier. Givereich. Starting from the pressure from Ballin in the corner, Pope inside his own box, 7 or 8 yards into the Newcastle half. Walker towards Callum Henderson to Akanji, goes after the right now. Allen over a touch ball folded until Akanji has it again. Diaz headed it down and now Aki pressing his own left hand side. Allen back to B for the points of today. Aki, Diaz, Cedric, Kanji, Trippy. Time on the ball, there's no pressure on it. Gives it over to Diaz. Diaz now towards 7 or 8 yards into the Newcastle half. Passing inside, looking at him to try and make something happen. Over inside the centre cell. Kanji again. Newcastle not putting too much pressure on the ball at the moment. Aki pressing his own Diaz. Folder on the halfway line. This is De Bruyne, and De Bruyne passes it over the player looking for the given goal with Foden, and Newcastle on it. Gives it over to Diaz. Diaz now towards 7 or 8 yards into the left hand side. This is Jones passing inside, looking at him to try and make something happen over the left hand side. Getting away from again. Newcastle not putting across the pressure on the Kanji is there to block off the cross. Diaz too much threat in at 90. Folder on the halfway line. Diaz. This is De Bruyne, and De Bruyne passes it very deep for the ball well inside his own half. Very short to Walker. It's a slack pass from Walker, which could let Wilson in if it wasn't for the intervention of Rodri. That's a couple of slack passes we've seen from Manchester City in the opening 7.5 minutes. They're quite getting into their flow just yet. Sloppy and neat to block off the cross. Ake, straight in at 90. Folder on the halfway line. Yes, this is De Bruyne, and De Bruyne passes it very deep for the ball well inside his own half. Straight to Walker. Pressure from Almiron. It's a slack pass from Walker, which could let Wilson in if it wasn't for the intervention on the left hand side. There's a couple of slack passes we've seen from Manchester City in the opening 7.5 minutes. They're quite getting into their flow just yet. Into his own half. Sloppy and neat forward. Finishing here, about to run down the left hand side, but check back, gets the ball, gives it back to Ake. Ball well inside his own. Ake back to Diaz. Straight to pressure from Almiron. It's a slack pass from Walker, which could let Wilson in if it wasn't for the intervention on the left hand side. There's a couple of slack passes we've seen from Manchester City in the opening 7.5 minutes.
Live Super League action.
I do think it would favour Manchester City's number 17. 5 goals this season. It's De Bruyne's hit, but it is well over the bar. And Pope not troubled at all in the Newcastle goal. "12 minutes gone. Manchester City 0, Newcastle United 0. Gone. There's Pope. Dangerous ball, clears it long. Again. Newcastle with the ball inside their own half. Lascelles. Led away by Pope. Halfway line
Goes to congratulate Novak Djokovic.
I'm so happy. Talk Sport 2.
Live international football.
What a goal!
Get in the ring. Go the distance. Talk Sport 2.
And Fury's got it. A unanimous decision.
If you can kick it, hit it,
Bowl it.
Pass it.
putt it, pot it, or catch it.
Catch it! You'll find it right here on Talk Sport 2. The prodigal son of all radio stations is on the air.
Can they make it two?
Talk Sport 2, because sport never stops.
Rodri.
We're sorry, this commentary is not available in your country.
On the right-hand
Please.
side, Foden now running in towards the box. Still not challenged. Foden still going through. Oh, what a goal! Individual brilliance from Phil Foden, and Manchester City have the lead with 14.5 minutes gone. Newcastle stood off, scared to make the challenge, and Phil Foden battles his way through to give Manchester City the lead with the finish past Nick Pope. But the confidence of Phil Foden to go through and apply the finish. A really simple goal to lose from Newcastle's point of view. Eddie Howe will be immensely disappointed. The ball switched out to Foden and he decided to take off, running into the box. Tremendous running play in towards the 6-yard box, and in the right-footed finish past Nick Pope. There might have been a slight deflection. Yeah, there is a slight deflection. I think it's off of Sven Botman to take it past Pope, but ultimately it's all about what Foden does in the build-up. He has the confidence and the determination to get into the box and make something happen, and he gets his rewards. And delight for Pep Guardiola and the home support. Botman's deflection was crucial in the end, but Newcastle let Foden create the opportunity. And ultimately, that is what has cost Newcastle here after a decent enough start from the home side. And Eddie Howe now hopes his side can rise to the challenge. Foden scoring his 13th goal of the season. Oh, here's a chance for Longstaff though inside the box. It's blocked by Ake as Newcastle look to respond immediately. Trippier's cross. Up goes Joe Linton. Gundogan should be able to get clear. Grealish to Ake right on the edge of the box, but goodness me. Set to give the ball away. Gordon through the middle. Newcastle not daunted by the challenge of going a goal behind. Guimaraes. Trippier. Good ball in towards Wilson. It was well read by Diaz, who gets a clearance. De Bruyne now turning. This is dangerous.
9 p.m. with RJ Debu.
Back in a dangerous area. About 25 yards out from goal.
Move Jack if he's sitting on a chair. I just sit in a different chair.
Fair enough. And when they're not busy watching TV, you can find them either in the garden chilling or catnapping anywhere they can find somewhere to sleep.
Wonderful. That sounds excellent. Well,
so that's Morag and Jasper.
Morag and Jasper, very worthy cats.
You can be so vulnerable when you lose.
Novak Djokovic.
I'm so happy. Talk Sport 2.
Live international football.
What a goal!
Get in the ring. Go the distance. Talk Sport 2.
And Fury's got it. A unanimous decision.
If you can kick it, hit it,
Bowl it.
Pass it.
putt it, pot it, or catch it.
Catch it! You'll find it right here on Talk Sport 2. The prodigal son of all.
Tremendous defending from Ake a few moments ago. Free kick inside their own half with Rodri committing a foul on Miguel Almiron. So 18.5 minutes gone. Manchester City 1, Newcastle United 0 thanks to that Phil Foden goal. Determined individual play from Foden, giving the home side the lead here. As I said earlier, Manchester City cannot afford to drop points now. They're certainly going the right way about this one. Here's corner for Newcastle. Joe Linton, Byrne getting forward from left back, but just forced away from the Manchester City attacking area. Pope on the edge of the box, looking to get it clear. Tries to pick out Almiron, but his touch takes it out of play. Or a throw in the far side. Ederson. Kanji just on the edge of his own penalty box. Finds Diaz in space. Ake on the far side. Grealish. Switched out to Foden by Rodri, who shimmies away from Dan Byrne. Oh, Haaland almost picking out the run of Gundogan, but it's great pressure from Haaland. Botman can't get out. De Bruyne wins it back on the right hand side. Tries to get the cross in. And goal kick is given. Anthony Gordon coming back to help defend. A nutmeg from Foden a moment ago on Dan Byrne. Tremendous pressing play from Manchester City as Newcastle tried to get out, taking a bit too much of a chance on the edge of their own box. Sometimes you just have to get the ball clear. Newcastle will pick up the ball inside their own half with Botman, the Netherlands international. Guimaraes has Joe Linton on the left hand side inside the Manchester City half now for Newcastle. Botman. Pope back inside his own box now. Has to go long. Can't pick out Wilson. And Diaz will retrieve the ball and send it back to Ederson inside the penalty box for City. Chips it out towards Ake. A nice pass. Left hand side. Grealish. Sliding challenge from behind. Comes in from Almiron. Giving away the foul. Jack Grealish, I think, hoping that a yellow card might have come out of Simon Hooper's pocket there. So free kick on the far left hand side for Manchester City. And Diaz. Byrne takes a throw, gives it to Botman. Botman, Guimaraes, facing his own goal, again back to Pope, right on the edge of the 6-yard box. Chips it out to Trippier. Lascelles gives the ball away to Gundogan, left hand side with Ake. Into the centre now with De Bruyne, back out left to Grealish. Ake. De Bruyne. Back it goes on the halfway line with Diaz. Akanji, centre circle, centre spot. Over to Ruben Diaz. Diaz to Ake. Grealish. Squeezes it through to Haaland. Comes back out to Grealish on the left hand side. Free in the box. Cross in towards Gundogan. Block made by Lascelles. Thrown on the far side for Manchester City. Really starting to assert control of this game, and that goal does seem to have knocked the stuffing out of Newcastle United a little bit. It had been very open up until then, and yes, Newcastle did have a brief attacking flurry after the goal, but City With 54% of the possession so far, but I suspect that number will only grow higher as the first half wears on. Going to go back all the way to Ederson. Sends it long up towards Grealish, who taps it over to De Bruyne, and De Bruyne looking for a forward run. He's going to switch the play out to Foden again. He's getting a lot of space over on the right hand side, and that's causing big problems for Newcastle United. Overlaps coming in from Walker, who slides it back, cleared away by Botman, who was sliding as he got there. Gibberish picks up. Wilson surely being held by Akanji. Simon Hooper said it was 50-50. Plays allowed to continue. Ake. Grealish. Left hand side. Inside now to De Bruyne. City slow it down. Diaz comes forward. Nathan Ake. Only of course managed by Eddie Howe at Bournemouth. Into his third season now at Manchester City. Nathan Ake. Had plenty of successes getting here and certainly improved as a player in that time as well. Foden, good play, centre pass into Gundogan. Foden involved in so much for City at the moment, but it's out now on the left with Grealish. Grealish taking on Trippier. Grealish shifting away from Almiron now. Grealish, great pass into Haaland in the centre. The battle with Botman, which Botman wins. He clears for a throw in on the far side. That's going to be a fantastic battle throughout the 90 between Sven Botman and Erling Haaland, two strong, dominating players. Haaland with 25 Premier League goals already this season, 33 and 33 overall for City since arriving in the summer from Dortmund. Diaz. Rodri. Sitting in that pocket. But even though City's players are all, you would say, assigned positions, they all move so freely around. De Bruyne trying to pick out Haaland with the pass for the middle. But again, it's good defending from Lascelles this time to block it off. And frustration from Holland, he sort of slapped the crossbar as the ball came through to Nick Pope. Oh, Newcastle give the ball away to Ake in a dangerous area. This is Grealish. De Bruyne in space on the edge of the box, goes for the shot. Blocked by Botman. Joe Linton came away with it, then Almiron gave it away. Newcastle cannot retain possession right now, and City will start to sense that danger and sense the opportunity they have to really assert themselves on this game with that 1-0 lead that they have at the moment. Rodri, 26 and a half minutes gone, still 1-0 to City. Rodri turning away from Gimenez. Grealish. Back inside it goes to Rodri. Then to De Bruyne, but it's a loose touch and that allows Gimenez to come away with the ball. Gordon heading out to the left hand side looking for the ball, but Gimenez keeps it. Now he gives it to Gordon. Gordon takes it inside. 30 yards from goal. Joe Linton. Newcastle now just trying to get a feel for the ball. They've had so little of it over the last 10 minutes or so, especially since they conceded. Lascelles. Botman. Just to make a note, Eddie Howe saying before the game that Fabian Schär picked up a concussion in the League Cup final last week, so that's why he misses out today. Another space on the right hand side now for Trippier. Good switch of play out to him. Two in the box. Akanji with the clearance though. Not the best cross in the end. Gordon put in the pressure on Gundogan, but he comes away with the ball and picks out De Bruyne. Now it's into the Newcastle half and De Bruyne comes forward. Haaland making a run for the middle, but again it goes out to the right with Foden. Foden taking on Burn. It's Foden left with the curling shot, blocked, and Newcastle can get it clear out to Burn. But City just turn it on so quickly, don't they? And the threat on the counter-attack, the speed at which they move it with. Plays come to a stop here. Worrying as Bruno Guimaraes has gone down to ground. There doesn't seem to be any real reason for it. Interested to see if there was some sort of off-the-ball collision. It's certainly not a play that Newcastle can afford to lose. A really interesting stat coming into this game. Newcastle are unbeaten in all 17 Premier League games when Guimaraes has played, and they are winless in the 6 they've played without him. That's just how vital he is to how Newcastle have done things under Eddie Howe. That's just this season as well. It's made such a great impact since coming in January of last year. So Guimaraes still receiving treatment. He is back up to his feet, so he should be okay to continue, and that's going to be met with signs of relief from Newcastle fans all over. A real fan favourite since making the move last year. It's a player they need to be on the pitch if those numbers, as I said to you just a moment ago, are anything to go by. "29 minutes gone. Eddie Howe just issuing some instructions to Bruno, just making some minor tactical shifts as they try to keep Man City at bay. Play continues. Ake heading an attempted ball up to Wilson down, and it's Rodri now to Gundogan. Rodri again. Ake. Back to Diaz. That's Ederson inside his own box again. So he's so comfortable at giving the ball back to their goalkeeper. Space now for Gundogan, who heads forward. Left out now to Grealish. Plenty of Newcastle bodies in the box, which allows space on the edge of it with Rodri now. Back out to Grealish. Rodri trying to pick out Foden at the back post. Headed back by Byrne. Gordon picks it up. Byrne again. Botman sends it out towards Wilson, who's really had to feed off scraps so far. For one for Manchester City on the halfway line, and Kanji and Wilson coming together there a little bit. Maybe some words being said. Newcastle now have a throw on the halfway line. 31 minutes gone. Manchester City 1, Newcastle 0. Newcastle one of 3 sides yet to win a Premier League game this season. We're conceding first, along with Brentford and Nottingham Forest. But before today, no one had shot the first goal in fewer games more than Newcastle United. That was in 5 games. I think that's 6 now. Grealish, left hand side, almost pushed out of play but held onto the ball. Rodri, Diaz, 15 yards out of the penalty box, now progressing towards the Newcastle half. Got away by Ake to Guimaraes, who's then fouled. That's going to be a free kick to Newcastle just inside the Manchester City half, and they're going to send the bodies forward from the back. Trippier's going to take the free kick. Newcastle looking to test the waters again with a set piece. Trippier punched away by Ederson as he came out. Trippier again, the diagonal up towards Lascelles. Ederson dropped it. No free kick. Joe Linton being urged to shoot by the away support. Nudged off the ball by Akanji. And now an opportunity could present itself for Manchester City on the counter, with Newcastle pushing bodies forward. De Bruyne on the right-hand side. Left-hand side, rather. De Bruyne. Cross is cleared by Lascelles. Wilson does well to win the ball. Joe Linton. Nudged off the ball by Rodri. Cleanly says the referee. Rodri. Foden. Walker midway through the Newcastle half. It goes back for the moment to Akanji inside the centre circle. Newcastle doing well to get back into shape there. Ake. Diaz. Every Manchester City outfield player except for Akanji inside the Newcastle half there. Walker now with some space to run into. Switches to play out to De Bruyne on the left hand side. Just hogging the touchline he was there. Great cross out towards Haaland, who heads it wide. Couldn't get a clean connection though. But De Bruyne left all alone over on the left hand side, giving plenty of time to get the cross in, and Haaland will be disappointed he couldn't at least get that header on target, as it came in from De Bruyne on the left hand side. Got there ahead of Botman. Botman just doing enough to close off the angle for the Norwegian. But in his book, you would say that would probably go down as a good chance. Push by Grealish, who says it's not, but free kick on the far side as he had a bit of a nudge on Trippier. Again, maybe an opportunity here for Trippier to send the ball into the box. It's absolutely vital though when Newcastle have these opportunities. They try and create chances and stop City from retrieving the ball, because we know how fast they are on the counter-attack. There's been a couple of times where City have looked to expose that when the likes of Lascelles and Botman have gone up from the back as it goes diagonal again, headed away by Ake. Joe Linton able to shift it out to Gordon. Can we get back to Joe Linton? Now Guimaraes to Sven Botman. Everybody inside the City half now from an outfield point of view for Newcastle. Joe Linton, left hand side now with Gordon, but very deep. Guimaraes up to Byrne. Nice turn, finds some space over on the left hand side. Back it goes to Joe Linton. Now it's Botman on the halfway line through the centre. Lascelles into Bruno Guimaraes, into Botman again. Gordon takes it inside. This is a good sustained period of possession now for Newcastle United as Trippier makes a great run through the middle and he picks out Wilson, who can't get his shot off properly. But here comes Byrne, who retrieves it. Foden trying to cover back. Guimaraes, Joe Linton, Guimaraes, Longstaff, Trippier into Longstaff. Guimaraes trying to give it and go with Longstaff, but now De Bruyne comes away with it for City. And are Newcastle going to rue that chance as De Bruyne comes through the middle, tries to get it up to Holland, but he can't hold it up. Good defending again from Sven Botman. Encouragement here for Newcastle United. Joe Linton through the middle, halfway line with Trippier and Guimaraes, who shifts it back to Lascelles. Lascelles over to Botman. Midway through their own half now, Newcastle. Botman, good pass up to Wilson, looking to try and hold it up. Wants to get a free kick off of Diaz. He went down, but referee says no, and tells him to get up. Grealish now coming forward, left hand side for City. Through the middle now with Gundogan. De Bruyne has Foden out right, trying to chip it through to Haaland. It was an awkward ball, and Pope makes the catch. But there's a great chance here for Newcastle United. Great diagonal ball. De Bruyne making a great run in behind Ake. He headed it down to Wilson, who was basically right on the penalty spot as it came to him. Went for the right-footed volley, but completely mistimed it. Almost as if he took his eye off the ball for a split second. And that was costly. De Bruyne. Guimaraes keeping him company. Goes back to Rodri. 7 minutes of the first half remaining. Still 1-0 to City. Diaz. Out to Grealish now, hugging the touchline on the left-hand side. Ake goes back to him. Rodri into the Newcastle half now with Akanji. Another ex-Dortmund man in this Man City team. Along with Haaland. Foden, good ball through to Haaland, who slipped inside the box but kept the ball. De Bruyne's cross, cleared away by Trippier. But it comes straight back to De Bruyne on the right-hand side. He tries to shift it back to Walker, too much in the pass, had to chase back to get it, and it just briefly kills the Man City momentum. Diaz. Rodri. Turning away from Wilson. Diaz. Again, chips it out right where De Bruyne is waiting for the ball. Walker. De Bruyne. Walker again. Here's Foden. Tries to shift it away from Joe Linton, who concedes the throw in on the near right hand side. Walker's throw into the box with Holland trying to shift away from Botman and Guimaraes, and it's Guimaraes who concedes a corner. Haaland always making a nuisance of himself, but hasn't had that opportunity yet. And it's been a debate over the last, let's say, 1 for 2, especially when City have maybe struggled for form, for consistency anyway, that Holland maybe isn't the best fit for this system of Pep Guardiola's as the De Bruyne corner comes in. But in saying that, he's certainly more than capable of breaking that Premier League record for most goals in a season, currently held by the great Alan Shearer. 34 in the 94-95 season when he won the title with Blackburn Rovers. So there's a debate to be had about whether or not he fits into this system, but certainly hasn't struggled for goals over the course of the campaign so far. 5 minutes to go of the first half. City with that 1-0 lead. Here's Rodri taking it away from Longstaff, then Haaland gives the ball away to Botman, then tries to shift it out to Gordon, but there's too much on it and Gordon didn't have the pace to get onto it. Akanji. Diaz. Back to Akanji, all deep inside the City half at the moment as Wilson tries to put the pressure on. Goes back to Ederson, just a couple of yards out of his goal. Goes long up to Holland. Nice touch to De Bruyne. De Bruyne shifting away from Joe Linton, but then gives the ball away to Longstaff, who's then clipped by De Bruyne and plays allowed to continue despite that. But Trippier picks up a loose ball as City can't quite hold on to possession. Trippier. It's a good ball up to Longstaff now. Almiron on the right hand side. Good overlap from Trippier. Trippier shifts it back onto his right. Ake keeping a close eye on him, but does well. Gundogan winning back possession for City, then Grealish getting out of a tight area there in the far corner. Grealish is tripped and now he's again looking for a yellow card. Trippier committed the foul on his fellow English international. Newcastle certainly had 1 or 2 moments where they have been able to commit some bodies forward and put some nice passing moves together, but although you could argue that Wilson opportunity a few moments ago goes down as a clear-cut chance normally, the fact that it didn't at least force Ederson into a save means that from Eddie Howe's point of view, he will be looking for more from his side, and that's been a big problem for Newcastle over the course of the season, is their inability to convert chances when they do create them. They are the lowest Premier League goal scorers in the year 2023, just 3 goals. Getting over the line in games has been a big problem for them. 11 draws across the season so far, more than they've won, which is 10. I think Pope has the ball inside his own penalty box. Lascelles to Longstaff out on the right hand side now with Trippier. Lascelles. Guimaraes. Trippier. Back to Guimaraes. It's all happening inside their own half at the moment for Newcastle. Good switch of play out to Burn though from Guimaraes. Byrne takes it inside and switches it back over to the right with Almiron. Aki going over quickly to try and cover. Almiron looking to try and use those feet to get away. Trippier. Guimaraes. Back over it goes to Botman. Botman now switches it out to Gordon on the left hand side. Lascelles. Longstaff. Almiron. That's Trippier on the far touchline. Good ball in towards Wilson. Looking to try and hold it up here. That's better play to take it away from Akanji. This is good from Newcastle. Wilson in towards Longstaff. Akanji just well positioned to win the ball back. But again, Newcastle stringing good moves together, just not finding the end product just yet. Lascelles punished for pulling De Bruyne down to ground right on the halfway line as De Bruyne threatened to get away. Lascelles no doubt sensing the danger if he'd allowed De Bruyne to get away there. As the ball just bounced in the Belgians' favour. Coming up to the 45-minute mark now. Two minutes added on at the end of the half. Well, some brief moments of encouragement for Eddie Howe, but as you would expect, City have controlled most of the game. And excellent goal from Phil Foden is the difference so far between the two. But this is a game that Newcastle are far from out of. So they haven't won yet when they've conceded first in the game. But this is the game that they're in. Wilson has it here, squeezes it through to Guimaraes. Gordon. Joe Linton. Gordon, nice turn away from Walker. Good feet, good ball control as well from Gordon. Guimaraes. Lovely ball in towards Almiron on the far side. He was offside though. Shot was wide in the end. Again, very little wrong with the build-up play from Newcastle United, but that killer ball into the area, that killer moment where they need to produce real quality, just not quite there for them yet. But they do have the quality to make that happen. Almiron, Joe Linton, all able to make things happen, and good options on the bench today for Eddie Howe, including Alison Maximan, Jacob Murphy, Alexander Isak from an attacking point of view. Seconds left. Newcastle have got a free kick on the halfway line. Again, Lascelles and Botman and Byrne will head forward. This will likely be the last action of this first half. Botman wins the header ahead of Walker, but it comes through to Ederson, and as he goes down to ground with the ball in hand, there is the half-time whistle from Simon Hooper, and it's Phil Foden's brilliant individual goal that separates the two sides at the break at the Etihad Stadium. Foden's 9th Premier League goal of the season. It was. There have been half opportunities for Newcastle United, but nothing clear-cut, and that's where Newcastle definitely need to improve. City haven't created too much either after that goal, or really either side of that goal. But it's a game that Newcastle United are still very much in. At the Etihad Stadium, it's Manchester City 1, Newcastle United 0, and we'll be back for the second half very, very soon. Make sure you join us then.
Sports are ready to read. Commentary will be starting soon. Whilst you wait, why not follow us on all social channels at LiveScore for the latest stats, news and opinions. Thanks for tuning in to this LiveScore audio commentary. We will join our commentator for all the action soon. In the meantime, have you used our new Team Pages feature? Search for or select any team within the app to see form guides, fixtures, results, league tables, player stats and much more. Make sure you hit the star to favourite your club or clubs to receive live scores, updates, news and video based on the teams you love. Did you know LiveScore's news service covers a wide range of football and non-football content, from predictive articles, transfer talk, match reports, in-depth analysis and much more? Just head over to the news section or the info tab. Want to receive match updates for the scores, stats and content for the matches that matter? You can find and favourite any event using our search feature or via our fixture listings and by hitting the star icon. During the match, receive live notifications of scores and key moments, whilst at full time receive updates when match highlights are ready to view and match reports are ready to read. Commentary will be starting soon. Whilst you wait, why not follow us on all social channels at LiveScore for the latest stats, news and opinions. Thanks for tuning in to this LiveScore audio commentary. We will join our commentator for all the action soon. In the meantime, have you used our new Team Pages feature? Search for or select any team within the app to see form guides, fixtures, results, league tables, player stats and much more. Make sure you hit the star to favourite your club or clubs to receive live scores, updates, news and video based on the teams you love. Did you know LiveScore's news service covers a wide range of football and non-football content, from predictive articles, transfer talk, match reports, in-depth analysis and much more? Just head over to the news section or the info tab. Want to receive match updates for the scores, stats and content for the matches that matter? You can find and favourite any event using our search feature or via our fixture listings and by hitting the star icon. During the match, receive live notifications of scores and key moments, whilst at full time receive updates when match highlights are ready to view and match reports are ready to read. Commentary will be starting soon. Whilst you wait, why not follow us on all social channels at LiveScore for the latest stats, news and opinions. Thanks for tuning in to this LiveScore audio commentary. We will join our commentator for all the action soon. In the meantime, have you used our new Team Pages feature? Search for or select any team within the app to see form guides, fixtures, results, league tables, player stats and much more. Make sure you hit the star to favourite your club or clubs to receive live scores, updates, news and video based on the teams you love. Did you know LiveScore's news service covers a wide range of football and non-football content, from predictive articles, transfer talk, match reports, in-depth analysis and much more? Just head over to the news section or the info tab. Want to receive match updates for the scores, stats and content for the matches that matter? You can find and favourite any event using our search feature or via our fixture listings and by hitting the star icon. During the match, receive live notifications of scores and key moments, whilst at full time receive updates when match highlights are ready to view and match reports are ready to read. Commentary will be starting soon. Whilst you wait, why not follow us on all social channels at LiveScore for the latest stats, news and opinions. Thanks for tuning in to this LiveScore audio commentary. We will join our commentator for all the action soon. In the meantime, have you used our new Team Pages feature? Search for or select any team within the app to see form guides, fixtures, results, league tables, player stats and much more. Make sure you hit the star to favourite your club or clubs to receive live scores, updates, news and video based on the teams you love. Did you know LiveScore's news service covers a wide range of football and non-football content, from predictive articles, transfer talk, match reports, in-depth analysis and much more? Just head over to the news section or the info tab. Want to receive match updates for the scores, stats and content for the matches that matter? You can find and favourite any event using our search feature or via our fixture listings and by hitting the star icon. During the match, receive live notifications of scores and key moments, whilst at full time receive updates when match highlights are ready to view and match reports are ready to read. Commentary will be starting soon. Whilst you wait, why not follow us on all social channels at LiveScore for the latest stats, news and opinions. Thanks for tuning in to this LiveScore audio commentary. We will join our commentator for all the action soon. In the meantime, have you used our new Team Pages feature? Search for or select any team within the app to see form guides, fixtures, results, league tables, player stats and much more. Make sure you hit the star to favourite your club or clubs to receive live scores, updates, news and video based on the teams you love. Did you know LiveScore's news service covers a wide range of football and non-football content, from predictive articles, transfer talk, match reports, in-depth analysis and much more? Just head over to the news section or the info tab. Want to receive match updates for the scores, stats and content for the matches that matter? You can find and favourite any event using our search feature or via our fixture listings and by hitting the star icon. During the match, receive live notifications of scores and key moments, whilst at full time receive updates when match highlights are ready to view and match reports are ready to read. Commentary will be starting soon. Whilst you wait, why not follow us on all social channels at LiveScore for the latest stats, news and opinions. Thanks for tuning in to this live score audio commentary. We will join our commentator for all the action soon. In the meantime, have you used our new Team Pages feature? Search for or select any team within the app to see form guides, fixtures, results, league tables, player stats and much more. Make sure you hit the star to favourite your club or clubs to receive live scores, updates, news and video based on the teams you love. Did you know LiveScore's news service covers a wide range of football and non-football content, from predictive articles, transfer talk, match reports, in-depth analysis and much more? Just head over to the news section or the info tab. Want to receive match updates for the scores, stats and content for the matches that matter? You can find and favourite any event using our search feature or via our fixture listings and by hitting the star icon. During the match, receive live notifications of scores and key moments, whilst at full time receive updates when match highlights are ready to view and match reports are ready to read. Commentary will be starting soon. Whilst you wait, why not follow us on all social channels at LiveScore for the latest stats, news and opinions. Thanks for tuning in to this LiveScore audio commentary. We will join our commentator for all the action soon. In the meantime, have you used our new Team Pages feature? Search for or select any team within the app to see form guides, fixtures, results, league tables, player stats and much more. Make sure you hit the star to favourite your club or clubs to receive live scores, updates, news and video based on the teams you love. Did you know LiveScore's news service covers a wide range of football and non-football content, from predictive articles, transfer talk, match reports, in-depth analysis and much more? Just head over to the news section or the info tab. Want to receive match updates for the scores, stats and content for the matches that matter? You can find and favourite any event using our search feature or via our fixture listings and by hitting the star icon. During the match, receive live notifications of scores and key moments, whilst at full time receive updates when match highlights are ready to view and match reports are ready to read.
One Newcastle United 0, where the second half is just about to get underway. Manchester City players making their way back onto the park. Phil Foden's goal in the 15th minute of the game. There's the difference between the two teams so far. But this is the game that Newcastle United are still very much in, despite not really having too much to shout about going forward. Busy day of Premier League games still to come. There are 5 3 o'clock kickoffs. Arsenal against Bournemouth, Aston Villa against Crystal Palace, Brighton hosting West Ham, Leeds at Chelsea and Wolves at home to Tottenham. And the 5:30 kickoff, this is all UK time of course, is Southampton against Leicester. Two sides battling at the bottom of the Premier League table. Second half underway. It's Newcastle who will shoot from left to right towards their away support in the second half, and City from right to left. No changes from either side that we are aware of, so I'll give you a rundown of the teams again. City are Ederson, Ake, Ruben Dias, Akanji, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Rodri, Walker, Grealish, Foden, Haaland. And Newcastle are Pope, Trippier, Lascelles, Botman, Byrne, Sean Longstaff, Bruno Guimaraes, Joe Linton, Miguel Almiron, Callum Wilson and Anthony Gordon. 40 seconds into the second half, and Newcastle have a free kick on the near right hand side. And again, all the bodies go up. Trippier will take it. There is a short option available to him. Nothing quite coming from Trippier's set pieces so far in this game. But it's going to go in towards the penalty box, headed away by Rodri. Comes out to Longstaff. And Trippier again. Gives the ball away to Dias, Foden, to Haaland, and then it comes out wide to Grealish. Here's Rodri now, with some space to work into. And it goes left hand side with De Bruyne. De Bruyne trying to shift away from Trippier. Back it goes to Ake. Newcastle are unbeaten in their last 8 Premier League away matches, 4 wins and 4 draws. Each of the last 3 have ended level. So the form is in there. It's on their side going into this one. Can they fight back in the second half? City on the ball right now with Rodri. Foden. Switches it right to left with Grealish. Comes up against Trippier. De Bruyne shifts it onto his left-hand side on the edge of the penalty box. Ake out wide again with Grealish. Grealish shutting into the box. Was he tripped on the edge? Referee says no. But again, Newcastle unable to get out of their own half. Walker. City in their own half now with Dias. Walker again. Forward it goes to Gundogan. A good driving pass. Rodri. Just turning back briefly. Kanji coming forward to the support for the middle. De Bruyne. Ake. Grealish again out wide on the left hand side. Taking on Trippier. Ake. Crosses blocked. Good play from Almiron. He goes to Trippier. Tries to go up the line. His attempt to clearance is blocked by Grealish. And it's going to come into the box of Pope to clear the ball. Byrne. Gordon. Newcastle midway through their own half now on the left hand side. This is Botman. Botman's going to switch it out to Trippier. It's a good pass. Trippier though gives it away. But then De Bruyne loses out to Trippier, and then Guimaraes out wide on the left now with Gordon. Joe Linton going ahead of him. Gordon squeezes it through into the penalty box, looking for Wilson, but Akanji can get there first and clear. Botman comes out to win it, but then he relinquishes possession to Foden. Left hand side into the Newcastle half. Rodri. Ake. De Bruyne. Back to Dias. This is Akanji. Can't see any notable changes in formation from either side as well at the start of this half, as De Bruyne takes the ball away from Longstaff and then tried to shift it out left to Grealish, but put way too much on the pass, and it's out of play for a Newcastle United goal kick. As it stands, Ederson is heading for his 100th Premier League clean sheet today. Although he's conceded in each of his last 5 games since hitting the 99 mark. So interested to see if that will continue today, or if he will hit that century of Premier League shutouts. Grealish. Halfway line now, set inside, and then gives it out to Walker coming forward. Inside the Newcastle half now for City. Foden on the touchline, back to Walker. And back into the Newcastle half with Akanji. Newcastle pushing some players up now. Diaz going back to Ederson inside the penalty area. Has Ake out to his left. Out it goes to the Dutch international. Ake back again to Ederson. Ederson will now switch the play out to Walker. Heads it down to De Bruyne. Still inside the Newcastle half though for City. Rodri. Walker and Akanji. Akanji now taking the run forward. Walker. Foden. Back to the Walker. Rodri. Ake, left hand side, still again inside the Newcastle half though. City patient with the ball, looking for those spaces to open up. Good pressing from Sean Longstaff with the block. A round of applause from his manager Eddie Howe. 6 minutes of the second half gone, still Manchester City 1, Newcastle United 0. Newcastle haven't given City too much. Bit of individual brilliance for that goal in the first half from Foden. This is a game that United are still in, but they need to make things happen going forward, and they just haven't done that yet. They will have a throw on the near side, which Trippier takes quickly. Out to Lascelles. Burn. Joe Linton. Rodri. Keeping a close eye on him. Goes back to Lascelles again, the Newcastle United club captain in his first Premier League start of the season. Good ball up to Wilson. Good hold up play. Guimaraes just dithering on the ball, but gets it out to Trippier. Trippier looking for the run of Almiron, headed out of play by Ake. Just overcooked the pass slightly there with Trippier. Newcastle holding on to possession here. There hasn't been too much between them possession wise. 55 to 45 in favour of Man City. You might have expected that to be a little bit more. Botman, not sure who that long range pass was aimed for, and he gave it away to Diaz. Here comes Foden. Grealish now. 20 yards out from goal as Grealish tries to bend his boot around it. There's going to be a yellow card for Joel Linton for a late challenge as that City counter-attack started. The advantage had been played. He just came in late on Diaz as he released the ball out to Foden. It's a good decision by Simon Hooper, and it's our first yellow card of the afternoon. This is 10th yellow card of the season in the Premier League for the Brazilian. That means he will now also miss 2 games. Certainly not something that Newcastle could do with. That will be frustrating for Eddie Howe. Tough run of games coming up. Wolves at home next week. Forest away on the 17th of March. Man United at home coming up soon as well, as Almiron tries to get round Ake. Unlucky not to get away, but Ake concedes a corner. 9 minutes into the second half. Ake's had plenty of work to do up against Almiron so far this afternoon. And here's another set piece opportunity for Newcastle United. Still trailing by a goal to nil. Botman, Lascelles, Lascelles and Burn rather. All inside the penalty box, around the penalty spot. Trippier drives it in. Away by Diaz. Botman gives it away to Foden, right on the edge of his own box. Good play from Gordon to force Foden out of play, and gives away the throw in to just halt any potential counter-attack. Big week and a half or so for Manchester City coming up as well. Crystal Palace away next weekend, a week from today. And then second leg at the Etihad against RB Leipzig on the 14th of March. One apiece in that Champions League tie, the last 16. Newcastle certainly harbouring their own ambitions of returning to the Champions League for the first time in 20 years next season. Been in the top 4 for so much of the campaign up until a few weeks ago. Minutes of the second half gone. This is Grealish for Manchester City. Back to the Newcastle goal. Give it away to Lascelles. Gamer Rice trying to pick out Wilson. Just hasn't really been able to get into the game. Callum Wilson today. Just 1 goal in his last 13 Premier League games coming into this afternoon. Joe Linton giving it away to Foden. Pretty scrappy from both sides in the last minute or so. And a roar of encouragement from the home support here as they look to see if their side can push on. Almiron now for Newcastle United. Just holds up the simple pass to Gamer Ice, who gets it now, halfway line. Joe Linton to Botman. Now out to Byrne. Bit of a loose touch, but keeps it in play on the far side touch line. Botman again. But 15 yards into his own half. Left hand side now with Byrne again. Haaland and Foden closing off the space. Switch of play out towards Longstaff. This is Almiron coming forward now for United. Almiron, Gordon inside the penalty box. Still Gordon trying to fashion the chance. And trouble here for Sean Longstaff, who had a bit of a nasty collision in the build-up there with Ake. Ball going out of play behind for, I think, a goal kick. Oh. Ake absolutely flying in. Completely committed there with Sean Longstaff. Both players looking at the ball as Longstaff headed that ball forward. And Longstaff has appeared to come off much worse there. And he'll have to be checked pretty thoroughly by the Newcastle United medical team here. Ake seems to be okay. Was an advantage played. Just trying to see if Nathan Ake was shown a yellow card for that. He was. Having a bit of a heated debate with Simon Hooper. I do suspect the reason for Hooper showing Ake the yellow card was probably just because of the dangerous element, even though Ake was fully committed to winning the ball in that challenge with Sean Longstaff, as both players were. But safety has to come first, and Ake is frustrated, but the yellow card is shown. One apiece on the yellow cards so far, with 58.5 minutes gone. Longstaff is back up on his feet getting a drink, and he's okay. Let's hope a thorough check was completed there. There's no chance of concussion. That's why Fabian Schär is missed out for Newcastle United today. Gundogan for Manchester City. Rodri takes advantage of a slip by Gamer Reich as Rodri continues forward, gets away from Joe Linton. This is De Bruyne, the space out on the right now for Foden, who's inside the penalty box, taking on Byrne, and then Botman able to get a brief clearance, but it might come back towards Haaland. Headed up into there by Longstaff, who's right back in the thick of it immediately. De Bruyne, Haaland with the volley, well off target, about a couple of yards into the penalty box. Still 1-0 to City. An hour played at the Etihad Stadium. Newcastle tried to find a way back into this game. Here's Dan Burn for Newcastle United. Edge of the box now with Ballin inside their own half. So we might be getting a triple change from Newcastle United shortly. Isak Saint-Maximin appeared to be coming on, as does Joe Willock. So Eddie Howe not wasting his opportunity to make some big changes to try and affect the outcome of this game. Here's Joe Linton now. Gordon. Longstaff is possessed by Grealish. Good feet, tries to get it away from Joe Linton and is caught. And this is where Joe Linton has to be careful. Already on a yellow card as he committed the foul on Grealish there, and you do wonder if he's about to be one of the players coming off, as that triple change will now take place. Those changes made now by Newcastle United. It's Wilson, Gordon and Longstaff off, and Willock, Saint-Maximin and Isak are the players on. Isak, of course, had a spell here at Manchester City as a youngster. So, interested to see what Saint-Maximin brings as Gordon exits after his first Premier League start for his new club. Here's Joe Willock on the ball now for Newcastle, the ex-Arsenal man. Heading forward, gives it out wide to Almiron on the right-hand side, showing good pace. Takes away from Haaland. Supported by Willock on the right-hand side. That's a great cross! It comes to Isak. Still Isak. Gives it away. Oh, Joe Linton was rampaging into the box, but the ball just evaded him by maybe no more than a yard. Excellent delivery from Willock, but Newcastle once again just could not convert. But that will lift their spirits, and it certainly lifted the spirits of their fans, who've tried to get behind their team throughout the half, still making plenty of noise from their end of the ground. Willock. Isak. Shot block, might get another chance at it as Ederson came out to make the challenge. It's going to be a corner. Well, the Newcastle change is making an immediate impact now. With 63 minutes gone, they've got a corner. Oh, Joe Linton was just a yard away from getting there. It came out to Saint-Maximin, who just couldn't quite get a shot off. Trippier's going to take the corner. Right-footed. Doesn't beat the first man though. De Bruyne gets it away. Foden now trying to break away as Willock comes out to intercept. Goes out of play for a City throw. And De Bruyne is going to come off for Manchester City here. This is interesting. Bernardo Silva will replace him. Suspect there will be some Newcastle players on the park who will be very pleased to see the back of Kevin De Bruyne. And then Bernardo Silva certainly isn't half bad a replacement, is he? 25 minutes to go. Still City have the lead by a goal to nil. But Newcastle, as I've said time and again in this game, are right in it. And the last couple of minutes have reminded everybody of that. And I'm sure it will be a wake-up call for everyone in the light blue shirt today. Daniel Bowers, thanks for joining us for this live commentary. Big game at the top of the Premier League. City trying to keep that pressure up on Arsenal. Newcastle trying to edge their way back towards the top four in those lucrative Champions League places. Here's Lascelles. Sends it out towards Trippier on the right hand side. Good ball through the middle for Isak. It's a good run. Akanji trying to cover it. Isak gets it away from Akanji. Excellent play. Chip towards the back post with Saint-Maximin, who heads it back towards danger, but it's picked up by Ederson. But Isak causing plenty of problems for the City defence here. It's a great ball down the channel, the right hand channel by Trippier, and Isak turned away from Akanji right on the goal line, shifted it into the box. Now Newcastle have been given a new lease of life with that triple change. All three players looking to try and make an immediate impact, and Isak certainly giving City plenty to think about here. Here's Nick Pope, who's going to be forced to clear long. Out it goes towards Trippier. Willock back to Trippier, gives it away to Ake. Now Gundogan and Grealish, and just like this, City now coming forward. Here's Haaland, gives it to Bernardo Silva! On for only a matter of minutes, and just like that, Bernardo Silva scores his 4th goal of the season with a brilliant finish with the outside of his boot to double City's lead and potentially kill the game off, just as it looked like Newcastle had all the momentum. That's the mark of champions. Bernardo Silva making the difference here for Manchester City, and a grimace on the face of Eddie Howe tells it all. And Newcastle's long wait for a Premier League win at Manchester City looks like it's going to go on. Well, we know in this league, if you don't take your chances, you will be punished. That's the top level, and City have done that right here. City work it well. First Grealish squeezing the pass through to Haaland. A nice shift on to Silva, and what an excellent finish. There wasn't too much space at all, but the left-footed finish. Pope was outstretched trying to get there, but the back of the net rustles. And a jump into the air from Pep Guardiola. He enjoyed that. A passionate celebration from the City players. That's a big goal, they know it. And a shake of the head as well from Eddie Howe. He knew his team were getting back into it. United will try and respond again with the left-hand side with Saint-Maximin, but the ball's given away and Ederson will clear long. It's going to go out for a throw. It's been 4 years since Newcastle last won at all in the Premier League against City. That was January 2019. City winning back possession again. This is Gundogan. And now the space here on the left-hand side for Grealish. Taking on Trippier. Gundogan. Space again for Bernardo Silva. Foden heading it back to Silva. Intercepted by Guimaraes. So Maximan challenged on the left-hand side. About 3 City players trying to win it back, and they will with a set piece because it's a push from Saint-Maximin on Rodri. And the free kick on the far left hand side will allow City to get a breather. They're in full control now. They've got the home support behind them. And as it stands, City will close the gap at the top of the league to 2 points, with Arsenal set to host Bournemouth at 3 o'clock. 20 minutes to go. Manchester City 2, Newcastle United 0. Gundogan on this free kick on the right hand side. Foden is there too. Foden runs over it. Gundogan swings it in. Almost fell for Ake at the back post. He's going to retrieve it outside the box. Grealish. Well, won back by Almiron, but then it's given away by Trippier to Ake. Newcastle again can't get out of their defensive area. Grealish. Great ball through to Gundogan. Haaland's in the middle. Botman blocking off the cross and conceding the corner. Foden to take the corner. It's going to be a left footer. Short to Bernardo Silva. Gundogan. Walker to Gundogan again. Gundogan. Cross comes short, but it's caught by Pope. A lovely throw out to Isak, trying to link up with Sam Maximan. But Grealish recovered the ball well. City relaxing now, starting to enjoy themselves after getting that second goal from their substitute Bernardo Silva. It's only been in the park for 2 minutes. Oh, emotion spilling over here. Dan Burn and Haaland getting into it. Shirts being pulled and both men having to be pulled away. Not sure what's happened there to cause the aggro. Sure what Haaland really had to do with that in the first place. He almost came out of nowhere to get in the tangle with Dan Burn, and I suspect yellow cards are going to be dished out to both men. All seem to be a bit something over nothing, it has to be said. Emotions spilling over. Not sure what City have to be frustrated about. They're comfortably 2-0 up. Haaland may be frustrated because he's not managed to get onto the score sheet yet today. There's the yellow card for Haaland. And there's one for Dan Burn too. And Dan Burn just having a bit of a pullback on Grealish. That's what a free kick was given for. Burn wasn't too pleased with it. Had a bit of a go at Grealish. Ruben Diaz came to push him away, and out of nowhere, it looks like Haaland ran all the way from his own half to come and have a go at Burn. There's even a bit of a smile from Haaland in the middle of all that. He was enjoying the tussle there. Just giving himself a bit of excitement with the lack of goals so far. Whoever keeps Haaland happy, I suppose. Finally, play is back underway. Here's Nathan Ake getting the better of his ex-boss Eddie Howe so far. This will stretch Man City's winning run against Newcastle, home to 14 straight Premier League games at home. Newcastle are an opponent that City have enjoyed playing against over the years. And Grealish now starting to have a bit of a go at the fourth official, which I'm again not entirely sure what that's all about. Anthony Taylor is the man on the touchline today for the officials. Jacob Murphy about to be introduced to the game for Newcastle United with 15 minutes left. Manchester City 2, Newcastle United 0. It does feel at this point that Newcastle know the game is realistically out of their reach. City's so comfortable in possession over the last 10 minutes or so since grabbing that second goal. Reich went down to ground and handled the ball. And he's going to see a yellow card for it, only about maybe 25 yards out from goal on the right hand side for Manchester City. Yet Gibberish had tripped and clearly touched the ball with his hand, as if he almost thought he'd been tripped by someone. Be quite lucky to only receive a yellow. Pretty blatant handball. His 4th booking of the season. Guardiola doing his best Marcelo Bielsa impression at the moment, sitting on the drinks cooler, contemplating things. Very deep in thought, it has to be said. Change for Newcastle is made. Jacob Murphy on for Miguel Almiron. Just 1 goal in his last 8 Premier League games after going on a run of 8 in the previous 9. His form has really dipped just when Newcastle could do with him continuing to provide the goals. Good range here for Phil Foden from a free kick on the right hand side, about 23-24 yards out from goal. It's going to want to go with the right foot, but it's well wide of the target. Newcastle have had chances to go begging today, and they've been punished by the champions in this one. The lack of goals is really starting to become a problem in their battle to get into the Champions League, and maybe at the moment even hold on to what they've got right now in the Europa League spot in 5th place. Liverpool 2 points behind, but they have played a game more in 6th place, and Fulham played 2 games more, also 2 points behind, so it's getting very tight in that area of the table as well. Good cross from Willock into the box, which is cleared by Kyle Walker, behind for a Newcastle corner. Newcastle still having a look. If they can get one back, then who knows what could happen here. It was City who provided the second half comeback against Newcastle in the first meeting between these two this season. As the corner goes in, it's a good one. It's punched into the air by Ederson out of the box. Ball's going to be picked up by Joe Willock. Murphy with space to run into here. Saint-Maximin. Joe Linton. Centre circle with Trippier. Gibberish sends it into the box. Looked to be a bit too much on it, and there was. And City can see it behind for a goal kick with 11 minutes left to go. Newcastle will have to start to look forward to their next game, which comes a week from tomorrow at home to Wolverhampton Wanderers. I think they'll be quite glad to get back to home surroundings after last week's Carabao Cup final defeat and today's performance so far. Manchester City, a week from today, go to Selhurst Park to meet Crystal Palace. City passing in about their own penalty box here. Ake. Diaz. Chipping it forward. Haaland pulled down by Lascelles, who has a bit of a go at the Norwegian international striker. Clear free kick. Inside the City half. A bit of frustration maybe coming out there from the Newcastle captain. Bernardo Silva goal was Manchester City's 1,000th home goal in the Premier League, of which 160 came at Main Road before they made the move here to what was once known as the City of Manchester Stadium. Quite the number. Foden having a great game, getting away from 2 Newcastle players. To Ake, and then out to Grealish on the left hand side as City threaten again into the box. Ake looking to send the cross in, blocked off by Trippier for a City corner. Foden been causing problems for Newcastle all afternoon. Fine performance. He, of course, got the ball rolling in the 15th minute. That brilliant individual goal, yes, a bit of a deflection off Sven Botman, but he put in all the work that led up to the goals. It's Foden who will take this corner. Left-footed out swinger, headed away by Lascelles. Grealish picks up. Rodri, bit of a slip, manages to keep the ball. Eventually Pope can retrieve the ball, and a bit of slack play from City. Some Maximan. City free kick. Foul on Kyle Walker. It's about midway through the City half. All of the Newcastle fans that made the trip here from Tyneside, not too much of a journey back up to the northeast. Roll it back across. So they get a throw on the far side as they come forward again, but very patient once again. Just managing the game with about 6.5 minutes to go of normal time. It's a game that looks very difficult now for Newcastle to get back into. Here's a Kanji. Walker. Given away by Gundogan. Hasn't done that too much today. Guimaraes. Lascelles. I mean, have to say about Newcastle, it's certainly not been a bad performance from them, far from it. And they've had one or two moments where they could have got themselves back into the game at 1-0. But City were clinical when they had to be with that Bernardo Silva goal. And that ultimately is the difference. Newcastle can barely get out of their own half at the moment. Burn now giving away a throw on the far side. Minutes to go. Grealish picking up a free kick as Newcastle will make another change for their last of the afternoon, which will see Matt Targett come on, the left back. Grealish, Haaland, Grealish, and Foden. Oh, great save by Pope. After more wonderful build-up play from Manchester City, Foden almost getting his second of the day. Good right-handed save by Pope as Foden just tried to find the angle between Pope and the far post. Dan Burns the man to come off for that target. His first appearance since November for that target. Was on the bench last week in the Carabao Cup final. Ex-Aston Villa man. City just very comfortably seeing this one out now. Bit of a wayward clearance from Edison, making things awkward for Kyle Walker. That allows Newcastle to get back on the ball inside the City half. Guimaraes. Lascelles. Right hand side with Trippier. Chips it up towards Isak, headed down by Akanji. Finds Gundogan. And then Haaland finds Ake. Rodri to Diaz very nicely. Done by City well inside their own half as well, although it's now given away to Joe Linton. That's the old commentator's curse coming into play. Willock. Murphy, good cross. Fizzed into the box. Bit of a touch from Walker to take it away and go out at the opposite side for a throw in. Target. Guimaraes. Willock. What about the shot? Trippier. Blocked across. Falls to Grealish, who then bounces the ball off of Murphy, and a goal kick will come now for City with a couple of minutes to go. Phil Foden having a fantastic afternoon, picking up his 9th Premier League goal of the season to open the scoring, his 13th overall. An excellent individual goal to get things started for the defending Premier League champions, who will close the gap to 2 points on Arsenal, who meet Bournemouth at 3 o'clock. Those other 3 o'clock games in the Premier League: Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace, Brighton hosting West Ham United, Leeds making the trip down to Stamford Bridge to play Chelsea, and Wolves hosting Tottenham at Molineux. Those are the 3 o'clock kickoffs, and Southampton meet Leicester in the late kickoff at 5:30. Final minute of normal time. City doing a fine job of seeing this one out. Well, for Newcastle United, this was always going to be a difficult game for them. Always a real challenge to come here. Only one side has won in the Premier League here this season. That was Brentford. A late goal by Ivan Toney just before the break for the World Cup, making a huge difference in the title race. Newcastle really have to get their form going again. Starting next week at home to Wolves. And for today, as we reach the 90-minute mark, it's no points once again here at the Etihad as Manchester City win a couple of corners in quick succession. 4 minutes to be added on at the end. City winning another corner, doing a really fine job of running down the clock here. And Erling Haaland is really quite enjoying himself. Jamal Lascelles has been shown a yellow card here. He's not happy about something. Had plenty to say to the referee, and Simon Hooper brought the yellow card out. Haaland wins another corner off of Joe Linton and gets a big cheer from the home support. Haaland is really starting to enjoy his afternoon now. Name chanted, and he's just asking for more from the home support. He is loving this. And despite not being in the goals today, he's certainly getting his fun. Sam Maximan trying to break away down the right hand side as that run of corners finally comes to an end for City. Rodri trying to pick out Foden, but it's going to come through to Pope. We've got a minute and a half played now of the added on time. Game ultimately that City have strolled through for most of it. Hasn't always been comfortable, especially when that second goal went in for Bernardo Silva. They've really never looked like losing. Joe Linton, his Newcastle attempt, one last foray forward. Get a free kick, Gundogan for a trip there on Murphy. So Newcastle have a free kick. It's about 30-35 yards out from goal. Ellis has got a minute to go before he reaches his 100th Premier League clean sheet. So I'll be hoping that this free kick doesn't find its way into the back of the net. It's not quite on point for Kieran Trippier, but you do suspect he's going to have a go. At this point you might as well. There's really nothing to lose. Ederson gets his wall organised. This will likely be the last action of the match. We've played 3.5 minutes now of the added on time. It's a fair distance out, but if anyone can provide a goal from this range, it's Kieran Trippier. Right footed effort is a decent one, and it does force Ederson to dive to his right hand side, but it's in the end actually a pretty simple claim, and that should do us here at the Etihad. Actually got headed on by Rodri, which might have taken the sting out of it, and there's the full time whistle at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City closed the gap at the top of the Premier League on Arsenal to 2 points as they get ready to meet Bournemouth in around half an hour's time. A goal in each half, first from Phil Foden after a brilliant individual run into the penalty box, squeezing his finish past Nick Pope thanks to a bit of a deflection from Sven Botman. Newcastle were coming back into the game after making a triple change in the second half. They had a couple of half chances, but Bernardo Silva took advantage of space just inside the penalty box with a brilliant left-footed finish past Nick Pope to really kill the game off from Newcastle's point of view and ensure that City pick up the 3 points. Another disappointing afternoon for Newcastle United, who wait for another Premier League win. Goes on to 5 games, and at the Etihad it's finished Manchester City 2, Newcastle United 0. I've been Daniel Powers. Thank you very much for listening, and enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.
All social channels at LiveScore for the latest stats, news and opinions.